What an amazing occasion this is. First, Teresita, the incandescent, brilliant Teresita. I am so honored that I am on the same billing with Teresita. One of the great joys that I experienced was commissioning her to really bring to the Ford Foundation this monumental installation. And I commend it to you. If you can, come to the Ford building to see what she has done. It is simply brilliant. So thank you, Teresita. Thank you. I have to say that to Tom and Allison and the hardworking staff and board of Studio in a School, you inspire us, and you inspire those children, because it is about the children and their potential, and it is their potential that the incomparable, inimitable, singular sensation that is Agnes Gund was inspired to her belief. And we all know that Aggie does indeed detest this kind of attention. But I am going to torture her tonight with love, with admiration, with adoration that she deserves. I have to say that my journey with art has been a series of moments of falling in love. I wasn't able to have exposure to the arts growing up in a small town in Texas, but I remember as a little boy, my grandmother worked as a maid for a family who themselves were great arts patrons in Houston. And she used to bring, because she knew I loved all sorts of odd things that most little boys didn't like in my community. Everyone knew I was the queer little boy in the neighborhood, let's just say that. But I will say that was nurtured in me. And it was nurtured because she would bring to that little shotgun shack where we lived on a dirt road in Ames, Texas, population 1,200, these brown paper bags filled with art books and programs from the Alley Theater or Jones Hall, Houston Ballet, and I would pour over them. And my dreams, my imagination just flourished because I could take myself away to another world. I fell in love. And then I came to New York, and I fell in love with this man who was an art dealer. And we all know how we fall in love with art dealers, at least in my case. And he opened this world to the visual arts and transformed my understanding of art and what it can do to you and for you. And then after meeting David, I met Agnes. And I fell in love too, as so many of you fell in love with Aggie. And I fell in love with Aggie because I saw in her someone who saw the humanity in every person and who believed and believes that every person deserves to live with dignity and to dream and to believe that they can do great things. And this is what Studio in a School does. This is what the arts do. It's why we care. And it's not just because of beauty. Yes, everyone deserves beauty. But we know from the data, the literature, the research, that the arts, especially for children, develops empathy, develops the skills that allow them to put themselves in the shoes of other people. Now, when I look around and see leaders who speak of other human beings in inhumane ways, leaders who use degrading language to talk about other human beings, I know those leaders have never experienced beauty. They've never engaged with a beautiful painting. They've never had exposure to beautiful poetry. They've never been told that they are special. That's what the arts do. Yes, empathy. Empathy is important because empathy allows us to be more just. This country can't be a just America without the arts, because the road to justice leads through the arts and what it can do. And so thank you, Studio in a School. Thank you for what you do to transform, to inspire. I'm enormously grateful on behalf of all of my colleagues at the Ford Foundation for this most generous gift. Thank you.